It started with laughter. Not just any laughter, her laughter. The kind of carefree, melodic laugh that used to be mine alone, the sound that once made every hardship in life feel lighter. That night, as I sat in the living room pretending to watch TV, I heard Emma laughing in the kitchen, her voice bright, playful, tinged with something intimate. For a moment, my heart warmed, thinking she was talking to me, until I realized the television was muted and I hadn't said a word. Curiosity turned into unease. I muted even the sound of my breathing, straining to listen. "Stop, you're terrible," she said between giggles, her tone softer than I'd heard in months. Then, faint but unmistakable, came a man's voice from her phone. It wasn't mine. I froze, my heart hammering against my ribs. The walls of our home suddenly felt like they were closing in. She wasn't laughing with me. She wasn't sharing that intimate joy with her husband. She was giving it away to someone else. I sat there, staring blankly at the flickering television screen, while the sound of her laughter carried from the kitchen. My mind spun with possibilities. Was it a coworker, a friend, someone from her past? Whoever it was, the truth was clear. She was emotionally somewhere else, somewhere I couldn't reach. After a few minutes, I stood up quietly and walked to the hallway, peering into the kitchen without being seen. Emma leaned against the counter, her hair falling loosely over her shoulders, her lips curled into a smile I hadn't seen directed at me in a long time. Her voice lowered, playful, teasing. "You always know what to say." The words hit me like a knife. My stomach churned, a mix of rage and heartbreak twisting inside me. I wanted to storm in, snatch the phone, and demand answers. But something held me back. Instead, I pulled up my own phone, hit record, and captured a snippet of her voice and his faint reply, evidence of what I already knew but couldn't yet prove. When she finally ended the call and walked back into the living room, her expression shifted the moment she saw me. Her smile vanished, replaced by a nervous tightness. "You're still up?" she asked, almost too quickly. "Yeah," I replied calmly, masking the storm inside me. "Who were you talking to?" Her eyes flickered, betraying her before her lips could even form the lie. "Oh, just Sarah. We were catching up." I forced a smile. "That's nice. Haven't heard you laugh like that in a while." She nodded, her eyes avoiding mine. "Yeah, it felt good." And with that, she sat beside me, pretending nothing had happened. But the distance between us felt wider than ever. That night, I lay awake in bed while she slept peacefully beside me. The faint smile on her lips even as she dreamed told me everything. I wasn't the man who filled her heart anymore. Someone else had taken my place. The following days, I became quieter, more observant. I noticed how she guarded her phone now, turning the screen away when notifications appeared. How she lingered in the kitchen or the garden, speaking in hushed tones. How her laughter came alive only when she thought I wasn't listening. One evening, when she excused herself for another catch-up call, I decided it was time. I quietly stepped outside, circling around the house to the kitchen window. There she was, phone pressed to her ear, her voice dripping with affection. "I wish I could see you right now," she whispered. The man's response was muffled, but the longing in his tone was unmistakable. She giggled again, whispering, "Soon. He won't know." I stumbled back from the window, my chest tight, my vision blurring with the reality of betrayal. It wasn't just harmless laughter. It was an affair unfolding right under my roof. That night, I didn't confront her. Instead, I began gathering more proof. Call logs, recordings, subtle photographs of her sneaking away. Each piece felt like a dagger, but I needed it not just for myself, but so she could never deny the truth. A week later, I was ready. She was in the kitchen again, laughing, whispering. I stepped in, phone in hand, and pressed play on the recording I'd captured earlier. Her own voice filled the room, playful, intimate, unmistakably directed at another man. Her face drained of color, the laughter dying in her throat. "Mark, what is this?" she stammered. "It's you, Emma," I said coldly. "It's you giving pieces of yourself to someone else while I sit in the next room, like a fool." Tears welled in her eyes, but I felt nothing but numbness. "I never meant for you to find out," she whispered. I laughed bitterly. "That's the problem, you didn't mean for me to find out. Not that you didn't mean to betray me." She reached for me, but I stepped back, shaking my head. "Save your tears. Save your excuses. You can give them to him, since he's the one who gets your laughter now." That night, I packed a bag and left. I didn't need her apologies, didn't need explanations. The truth had already been exposed, clear, undeniable, cruel. In the weeks that followed, she tried to reach out, messages filled with regret and promises of change. But I never answered. Because I knew if she could laugh so freely with him while leaving me in silence, she was never really mine to begin with. And now, when I think back to that night, her laughter in the kitchen still echoes in my mind. Once it was the sound of my happiness, now it's the sound of my heartbreak, a reminder that the person you love most can shatter you with nothing more than a laugh meant for someone else.